All right, how's it going, guys? This is DavidElitch for Drum Channel. I wanted to talk to you guys about some technique stuff today. Once you get comfortable with the double strokes, something that I started assigning to my students a long time ago, because I'd have double bass, like metal drummers come in, and their double bass stuff was killer, but then when they start doing double strokes with their right foot, it wasn't really happening because they're always doing it with 2 feet instead of 1 foot. So a little exercise I came up with is just something called hand-foot combinations, and it's pretty simple. So the first one is just right, left, kick, kick. So that's pretty common. So what I'm going to do next is displace that rhythm 1/16 note backwards. So displacement really is just a fancy word for moving. So all I'm doing is taking it and moving it a note backwards. So we were going 1, E, and, or right, left, kick, kick. Now that left is going to be on the downbeat. So it's left, kick, kick, right. So if we do that one more time, it's going to be kick, kick, right, left. And the last time is going to be kick, right, left, kick. So that way it moves through every parcel you could have for a double stroke with your foot. So something you can do, when you're comfortable with this, is put them in a groove context. It's really important that you do this with a metronome, and once you get comfortable, you can keep your left foot on the downbeats because your ear will kind of flip this rhythm around on accident sometimes. So if we just play, pocket and play those as fills, you can hear what they sound like. So I'll just go through them all. So. It's a little bit faster. That last one's really cool because you get the kick on the downbeat, so it works really well. Move it around toms. Cool sort of fill. So that'll get your doubles happening, in every partial for 16th note subdivisions. You can come up with your own exercise. You can do it with triplets. You can do it with other subdivisions, but you can do it with one hand instead of with 2. You can flip it into all kinds of other stuff. So experiment and have fun with that. Check it out. One other thing I wanted to mention real quick is I see a lot of people digging the beater into the bass drum head. So I'm adamant about not doing that. There's always an exception to the rule, but if you're playing a huge bass drum in a metal band and it's mic'd up, it's like whatever, it's not gonna make a difference. But most of the time, it does. So sometimes people play the bass drum and they're digging the beater in and they leave it in there when they're not playing. So for instance, like, all that does is just create a ton of tension for your leg because you're like sitting there and holding it down while you're not doing anything. You should be just relaxed when you're not playing. So that's definitely a no-no for sure. But when I do my singles or my doubles or whatever, as soon as I'm done doing that, I'll let my heel fall to the floor. So if I'm just playing just some pocket groove you can watch, it almost looks like I'm playing heel down, but I'm not. So I'll hit the bass drum and the beater will come off like an inch or so from the head every time. So what that does is it lets the bass drum resonate. So imagine hitting a tom and just digging the stick into the tom head. It would sound horrible. So it's the same thing with a bass drum, especially if you play with a resonant head that doesn't have a hole in it, like a vintage kit or something, or a smaller drum like an 18 or a 20. You know, all that tone is stuck in the drum because there's no hole. And if you dig the beater in, you're just going to kill it. You're going to mute it. And speaking of which, if you're playing on an 18, like cranked up, like bebop style, and you dig the beater in, the pitch will actually change. It'll be like, because you know, it's a small drum. It's like a tom, essentially. So that'll just sound terrible. So I see so many people digging the pros, whoever, digging the beater into the head. So always let that come off, you know. It's going to feel better. It's going to sound better. It's just going to be less work. So give it a try. So now that I've got these videos up on here, I can send my students to check these out, so there's no way that they can get confused or forget what I'm telling them. So if you're a teacher, you can check this stuff out and check out all the other awesome stuff on this website. There's a ton of information on here.